Hi Year 4 and welcome to Wednesday's Maths. Today we're going to be solving some problems using all the methods that we've learned. Maths is an important part of everyday life. It crops up everywhere. Pause the video and see if you can think of a time recently when you or someone at home has used maths in their everyday life, not just in a maths lesson. Here are some of the ones I've thought of. So time, for example, how long something might take, how long it is until you have to go somewhere. Or you've got money. Money crops up in everyday life, particularly for adults. Lots of maths is needed around that. Working out food or recipes. Working out travel arrangements, how far away things are. Quantities, something as simple as how many sweets will you get if you share them equally with your brother. Or sport, working out how many points your team need in order to be top of the Premiership. Maths really is everywhere. Let's start with this problem. To make one cake, I need 150 grams of sugar. How much would I need to make 5 cakes? Is this an addition, a subtraction, or a multiplication problem? Pause the video to think about it. Now, the first thing I do when I come across a problem like this is I find the most important information and I underline it or highlight it. So I know that I've got one cake at the moment that needs 150 grams of sugar, and what I need are 5 cakes. Sometimes a really good strategy, if you're not sure what to do, is to draw the problem. So here I have one cake and it's 150 grams of sugar. And I know I need 5 cakes. So there we go. I've got my 5 cakes. Each one has 150 grams of sugar. Now what I could do is I could add them all together. That would work. So I'm adding 150 each time. But because I'm adding the same amount every single time, actually there's an easier way of doing it. We can just multiply it by 5. 150 grams, 5 cakes, we can multiply by 5 to work out how much sugar we're going to need. So what method are we going to need for this? Yep, the grid method. Pause the video and complete it for me, and then I'll show you if you're right. So 100 times 5 is obviously 500. 50 times 5, well, 5 5s are 25. But this is 50, so it's 10 times bigger, so we have our 0 on the end, 250. And 5 times 0, of course, remember, no matter how many zeros you have, you still have 0. So I've got 500 and 250 that I then have to add together. A quick column addition shows me it's 750. So where my question is, I put my answer. Hopefully that's what you got too. Now let's look at a different problem from a different area of life. Liam had £562 in his bank account, but he spent £37 on new trainers. How much does he have left? Pause the video to find the important information. Which bits do you think I should underline? Well, this is what I decided. 562 is really important because that's what I'm starting with. I know that he spent £37 and the question's asking me how much does he have left. Have you worked out what operation is needed for this problem? I've done a picture of this to help us. So he started off with £562 in the bank, but £37 has now gone to somebody else, has gone to the shop that he bought the trainers from. So what we need to do is we need to take it away. We need to subtract. So 562 take away 37. The best method for subtraction? Column subtraction. So pause the video and see if you can work the answer out and tell me exactly what's underneath my blue box. There was a slight hole you could fall down here because 562 looks like that. But then when we take away 37, we have to be really careful with where we put it, because 37 doesn't have any hundreds. So we need to be careful to make sure our place value is all in the right place. So our 3 10s and our 7 1s. No putting the 3 over here. That's not where it goes. So let's get on with finding the answer. The first step is 2 take away 7, but of course we can't do 2 take away 7 because we don't have enough to take away 7 all at once. And we can't switch them over, remember, can't be done. So we need to go next door to the 6 in our 10s, and we need to take one of those 10s and pop it into our units column. So it ends up looking like this. So we've taken one of our 10s here, so we've got 5 10s left, and one of them has come over here. So we now have 12 take away 7, which is 5. The next column is now 5 take away 3, which of course is 2. In our hundreds column, we have a 5, but we have no hundreds that we're taking away. So that 5 stays exactly the same. So our answer now is 525. But 525 what? What was it in the problem? That was it, money. So we're talking pounds. So our answer will be 525 pounds. Always make sure you use the units of measurement they give you in the question. We could also look at it as a bar model. So the amount Liam started with was £562. So imagine this is a block of £562 coins. But he spent some of it. So we need to chop some of that money off. And the amount that he's taken off is £37. So what we've got now is our line of £562 coins, but without the 37 on the end. So really, the amount we've got left is the amount that fits in this space here. So we can put another block there to make our bar model. So we know the 562, we know the 37, we just had to work out what was left, which is £525. And this helps us to see a really good way of checking our answer as well. Because if we add 525 and 37 together, it should make our total amount across the top. So, column addition, does it make 562? Well, pause the video, you work it out. Yes, it does, it makes 562. So there we go, we know our answer is correct. The last problem we're going to look at together today is a little bit trickier because it's what we call a multi-step problem. So we don't just need to do one operation or one calculation to work it out. We're going to need more than that. So we take it step by step. The problem says, Joe has to drive 31 miles to work and home again each day, 5 days a week. He has 300 miles of petrol left. Is this enough for the whole week? Remember, the first thing to do, find the important information. So he drives 31 miles to work and home again every day. So it's 31 miles there and 31 miles back. And he does that 5 days a week. And we know that he has 300 miles of petrol left. So what we need to do is work out if the distance he's traveling this week is more than 300 miles or less. Let's take it step by step to work it out. So the first thing we need to look at is this 31 miles to work and home again. That's quite easy to deal with because what we need to do is either 31 add 31 or 31 times 2. So we just need to double it. And what does that make? 62. So he drives 62 miles a day. But of course, that wasn't what the question was asking us. It's asking us about a whole week. So we've still got more calculating to do. Let's get to the next bit of the question. So we know 62 miles a day, but he does that for 5 days every week. So what do we need to do with our 62? Yeah, we need to times it by 5. Well, we know how to multiply things. We need a grid. Pause the video to work it out. Here we are. So our answers in our grid are 300 and 10. Now, I'm fairly sure you could probably add those two in your head, but you can use column addition if you need to. So the answer we get to is 310. So he drives 310 miles every week. Now let's read what the last bit of the question's asking us. He drives 310 miles in a week, and he has 300 miles of petrol left. Is this enough for the whole week? You tell me. No, it's not. He's going to run out of petrol. Well done if you followed that. Sometimes multi-step problems can be a little bit tricky. Your challenge today is on Google Classroom, whether you choose Challenge 1 or Challenge 2. Challenge 1 focuses on one-step problems, so you might need to add, subtract, or multiply. You need to think really carefully about which one you need to do. Feel free to draw the problem if that makes it easier. Solve the problems on paper using the written methods that we've learnt. Challenge 2 is the same kind of thing, but this time you have multi-step problems, so it could be a 2 or maybe even a 3-step problem. Work through it again on paper and use the written methods that you know. The super challenge today is simple. You need to write some of your own maths problems for someone else at home to solve. Remember, use add, subtract, or multiply, or a combination of them, and use everyday situations. Just make sure that you know the answers before you get them to work it out. That way you can tell them if they're right or not. Good luck with the challenges today, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye.